Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Greenply Industries, which can be a wealth creator over the next 3-4 years. So let's understand about the business. Let's get started. First of all, disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Greenply Industries, here's a small request that kindly support me on Patreon. And once you do that, it will help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions and seek out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and number of podcasts I put up from time to time. And also, you can pay $100 upfront. You get 1 year access by paying for 10 months. For detailed market or company talk, you can directly email me and we can work things out with a fee. And also, if you cannot pay on Patreon, you can join the YouTube membership or you can email me and join on WhatsApp as well. Now about the company, Green Panel was established in 1990, Greenply Industries, and makes a number of products. One of the largest plywood manufacturers, and products include deodorant, blackboards, plywood, doors, decorative veneers, PVC products, specialty plywood, etc. The market cap of the company is around 2,200 crores. It's a pure economy play, and once there is a housing boom that comes around, then these companies will also do well. Currently, we are in the midst of a you can say kind of a recession in the infrastructure and real estate domain because of higher interest rates and many other things percolating down to you can say higher raw material cost. So at this point of time, these are times to probably accumulate the stock, and going forward over the next 3 to 4 years, I believe a big up move is very much possible. If you look at the financials, these are Q4 numbers which has just come out. So sales went up by 50% and profit was flat. So what happened was they had a profit growth of around 20-25% last quarter on a year basis. But this year it was flat, but sales were very smart. So what happened is that the margins have got hit badly because of higher raw material costs and a lot of cost that has come in. So margins were absolutely in dismal situation, and probably this will remain for the next couple of quarters. So these will be opportunities to accumulate. We don't expect a huge return in housing sector or in housing ancillary space at the moment, and this is because of the kind of margin pressure that these companies are facing. There's decent combined promoter and institutional holding. ROE is of 15%. Margins now are below 10%. 10% was the margin till last quarter. It's around 6-7% at the moment. If you look at the performance, then stock is flat over the last 12 months. It hasn't done much, but since 2020, it has become 2.5x over this period. So numbers have been decent except for this quarter. Margins have remained under pressure, and we are seeing that happening. And probably once things are normalized, once things get going on the economic front, these companies will perform well. Remember that Greenply is a very small cap company. It's just about 2.5 thousand crores or so. So there will be a lot of hit because of the kind of numbers that it is producing, and that's why the stock has also fallen from around 220 230 levels to the levels of 180 that we are seeing post the numbers. There's strong institutional promoter holding, but things can get awry very quickly. So one needs to be careful buying into these, but if you have a longer term time frame, 3 4 5 years, then these companies will end up benefiting you because there will come out to be strong rallies in this segment going forward once things get better because the valuations become attractive. So I'll talk about all these points now in this presentation. So why I believe it can be big? Valuations have become very attractive. Currently trading at 21 times 1 year forward earnings, 20-21 times earnings for a company growing at between 20-22% CAGR. Yes, this quarter hasn't been that great, but if you take into account a normal quarter in which growth had taken place, it's around between 22-23%. So I believe this could be big. This is a scenario in which a company growing at 20% is trading at 20 times, which normally doesn't happen in the stock market. You get some kind of a premium. So long-term housing demand should remain intact, and once these interest rates ebb, probably by next year things will start picking up. So there could be pressure on the numbers, there could be pressure on the stock for the next 6 months or so, but over this period of time one can accumulate. We could go to any levels, we'll talk about levels in the technicals, but over a period of time, as much as it falls, there is a greater chance for its recovery and the kind of returns that you'll get. So that is my point. It has done well in a competitive market to produce the kind of sales it is producing. That tells you the kind of pedigree that the company is having. Currently, it is trading only at 1.2 times current sales, probably 1 year forward sales. I believe that 1 year forward, you're going to see 1800 to 1850 crores of sales, and the stock is at, or the company is at 2200 crores. It's trading at about you can say 1.2 times 1 year forward sales, and business is set to improve when once the costs decline. There's high costs that are coming in, and these costs are also not sustainable. It's like high margins are not sustainable in a very cost effective environment. Current environment at $120 per barrel, $115 per barrel oil, and the kind of inflation we are seeing on all commodities, I mean, this is not sustainable. This is kind of a peak of an inflationary cycle for these commodities. So going forward, I believe, I won't say that it will reverse completely, but things will become better for these companies. So numbers on a year-on-year basis will look much better by FY 23 and by FY 24. So next 18 months you'll see numbers becoming much better than what it is currently looking at, and that point of time this can trade at 4 to 5 times sales and around 35 p, and that is where, I mean, if you say 2 years forward, I see the company doing sales of around 20 to 2300 crores, and if you take into account 4 to 5 times sales, then we are looking at 8,000 to 10,000 crore market cap. So that's where the stock could become 4 5x from here over the next 3 years. That is my assessment. If you look at technicals, then it has done nothing in the past 1 year. So it has been consolidating. The major support is around 180, which is it is currently trading at, and once 180 goes, then we are looking at 160 level. So there is a possibility with the kind of market scenario we are in that we'll see a 10% downtick on the stock, and we may go to 160 levels, and those will be very good levels to get into. So buy in tranches, look for buying at 180, then buying at 160, 150, and between 150 and 180 one can keep on accumulating. I see strong support between 150 and 160 levels, and the major breakout is expected above 250, which looks highly unlikely at least for the next 3 to 4 months. May consolidate in this period between 150 and 180. It is an illiquid stock, so be extremely careful if you trade into it, and that's why I'm not saying that you go ahead and trade. Probably accumulate the stock for the next 4 or 5 months, and then probably from from 2023 onwards, that is FY 24, we'll see the move taking place. Technically, currently it is looking extremely weak. For investors, it's good to buy at these levels. So what can be done is buy only if you have a 3 year time frame. So that is extremely important. You need to set your time frame first. So if you have a 3 year time frame, this can be 3 to 4x in the next 2 to 3 years. So have a 3 year time frame and buy into it, and only take small positions into the stock. So this was my video on a Greenply. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post, and kindly support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching.